get that cooldown reduction. Can't really do too much. Blink Dagger's going to come any second now on Bulba as well.
Yeah, they're well set up to become even stronger. And they've been winning these fights for the most part without those big items, without those big timings on talents and such. So we need to see something big from OG. And probably the next Chrono, the next Exorcism is going to have to bear fruit.
It's not just that. Like, it's got to do so much. You got to have like a game-changing impact with those abilities right now. Because winning one fight and then transitioning it into nothing is enough. Right? Like, you're going to have to grab quite a bit. As up at top, though, Dubu, one step at a time, you've got to peck away at this lead. It's going to be the first to go down. A kill at this point for OG.
Maybe just a little bit too cavalier right now, DC, and OG taking full advantage.
For sure they are right now. They weren't making these kinds of mistakes earlier, or even in the previous game, but right now, like Abed, you notice at bottom, doesn't even have his blink or his orb up quite yet, and he's walking in between.
Yeah.
And Ana might even pick him off here.
Oh no, they saw the correction, maybe they get the Eul Scepter lift up!
Just chrono him.
Alright, he's gonna do it. He catches both of his teammates in there, actually, and he's gonna have phase shift, as well as an orb. Away in a second, possibly times it.
No problem. That was a little bit closer than you'd like, but you notice that DC, like Abed, is overplaying his advantage like crazy. Yeah. He didn't have blink or his orb up quite yet, and he was still walking there, gets spotted. At the same time, S4 gets noticed.
I mean, can't really go on. If he's not careful, they need to back out again. There's a couple heroes that are rotating in. They're by a shrine.
Yeah, S4's got his blink.
Thought about it. Rev is there. They found him again for the moment. Malefice keeping him back. Weave is going to keep him alive, and with that, DC don't want to overstep their bounds.
DC should just calm down a little bit. Right now, I think they're a little bit too antsy. As a team, you know you're ahead. Like, you have to know. Look at all the items that you have. You can just one-to-one compare net worth, and you'll be able to figure it out in game. But at the same time, you make mistakes like this, it's the fastest way to give up a lead.
For sure. I do like this play, you know, going in for a smoke together. Relatively speaking, Lycan is showing in the lane, or at least he was a second ago. Although Frev is now not with the rest of the team. Thought he had a TP, but such luck.
They're going to shove out the waves. They probably take out this tier 2 and then go for Rotom. Probably the play order.
Brev walks forward, punches him a couple more times. They're playing it now much more safe. You can see stuck together all as a team. They're able to catch now onto the DP. Epicenter out as well, with the Eul Scepter keeping them alive for the moment. Still a good bit of damage dealt. The Spirit Siphon's there, but the Echo Slam turnaround. They're able to interrupt it. And the Black Hole now down immediately canceled. Great play. Chrono onto 2. S4 starting to deal the deeps in the back. He's gonna live. Just barely for the moment, but Dubu finally brings him down. Ana now trying to deal with this. Bulba's just been doing the Sandstorm off to the side, and another great play from Jerix. Finds the stun silence onto Puck, gets the kill. 3 dead for DC, and Bulba, the lone one left, is going to be able to try and TP out.
Corner.
And makes his way out of there. But my God, the play from, I think Jerix was the one that canceled that black hole there.
Yeah, he gets off everything in that fight. Just manages to clip Nigma with that. Barely gets a black hole off for even half a second. I thought that he was going to be able to survive, though. Did he not grave the DP? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like he didn't. But in any case, that was quite the fight. Although they did just lose 2 tier 2 towers before that, so you don't feel too good about that. And that's what we said, right? Is if you win a team fight but you don't get any objectives, how much did you really move to the needle?
How much as well if Ana's going to get picked off here. He gets the Linken's broken. And we didn't see a lasso there. It looked like Batrider's was on cooldown.
His Blink Dagger was.
Yeah.
And at the same time, do you really commit? If you lose another fight like that, that's when morale starts to really go down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, DC, what I was going to mention is they were getting a little bit cocky, and they still didn't have their Enigma BKB yet. If you have Enigma BKB, that is, the fight is won. Like, you're going to chrono 2 targets. Nothing's going to be able to cancel it. Void was a little bit too far. Like, that's a fantastic fight for you if you're DC.
Yeah, they are going to have that brought out to them, I'm sure, in just a couple of seconds here. Obviously won't have buyback, but not the biggest issue. So Rosh, is your thought the next big objective on the map for either team?
Yeah. If you get, because Rosh has always been the counter to these big cooldown abilities like Doom or Void. If you chrono somebody and he's got Aegis, does it really matter?
It doesn't at all. And DC sort of lacking the normal vision hero that they would have. They have it still in Batrider at the very least, but he doesn't want to have to like use Firefly to go check Roshan necessarily. N0tail is actually the one that's in here with Ana. Are they going to go check it? I have a feeling they will, as the smoke is going to be popped. They move in. Rosh is not that low, only about half HP, and Forev is up there on the high ground. He jumps forward. They have that Midnight Pulse down already. The BKB's popped, but he doesn't actually have his blink there to get into range. It's still 15 seconds until Black Hole is up and online. Dubu being slowed down by the time dilation. They drop down.
That is a lot of damage.
Lycan is there as well. Can they do it? Can they bring him down in time? They are going to kill off the Lycan, but S4 is also going to go down. I know N0tail bringing out the grave. He is eventually going to be dropped.
Oh,
he got the regen! So much regen! He's getting ran down by Ana. Jarex is there as well. Finds the silence, finds the kill. 2 dead for DC, and maybe gonna lose a couple more on their way out.
Oh, DC. This is not the fight that you wanted to take. On top of that, Roshan's half as well, so if they lose this fight, OG just gonna march in, take that.
The plays, they come back out yet again. Jarex jumps up to the high ground, wants to find Dubu and run him down, but doesn't quite end up working out that way. So DC salvage at least these couple of heroes getting out, but that one hurt.
Yeah, and this Roshan is going to be the big one. We talked about it. It's going to be their chrono counter, but unfortunately, it should go the way of OG. They're going to orb in there. N0tail has a little bit too much armor for them to do anything. They're all weaved up. DC, though, they recognize the importance of this. They're going to try to go in anyways. Bulba going to go for it.
Now Sandstorm's still there. S4 jumps in. They've got the jump. They've got the catch. Abed takes it. There's a big play. They come back in. S4 has already been able to find 1. 2 are down, but you do have Enigma that's going to be coming back into this one. If OG push up high ground, they could be punished quite heavily. They found the Lycan, but can they get out with their lives? S4 in trouble. The Glimmer Cape going to keep them alive for the moment. They jump back forward. N0tail caught, trying to TP out of there. He jumps in. Black Hole down. Mason with the double, make it a triple. The Grave will not save Ana this time. I do not believe, unless he was able to turn dilate and keep Abed back, but the Malefice is there, catches him again, and now Ana just trying to time walk away, but the stuns continue. The Courier is down, and he can taunt all he wants. The kick away from Jarex, actually somehow saving his buddy. Oh my god, OG, just when you thought that Ana was dead, turns out he's immortal, and then he jumps back in. That was fine.
Alright, no one's going to talk about it, but Dubu's flame break there to move them, he just parted them like the goddamn Red Sea. Abed just walks in there, claims that Aegis like it was theirs the entire time. He tries to go for the chrono.
Whoa.
OG.
OG indeed. OG.
If they lose S4 here too, he's a little bit out in no man's land. He does have that Echo.
Cape keeping him alive yet again, but pulled back in. Going to be lassoed. Most likely going to be killed. They keep Fly really away as well. S4, everything in the kitchen seat to try and keep him alive, but is eventually going to be brought down. DC just too hard to deal with this point. 15,000 net worth lead, and again they jump in, not able to stop it. Echo Slam is there. Can S4 turn it all around? The BKB TP, Forev is gone.
They're all out of this.
Yeah, Abed dropped down very low, but does have another phase shift. He can maybe get out with the TP boots, the stun. It's not there in time. Everybody from DC gets out. They are looking scary.
And Dubu just hiding in the corner, trying to make his great escape. There's the fissure. They need this. This is a gem too. They're going to commit the Echo for this as well. Gets the Force Staff out. In 1 second, he can blink, but Jarex is right there.
Oh no, poor Dubu. Well, they do get the gem now on Jarex.
Ooh, that is still... It really felt like DC was throwing this game away. Like, they took that fight without, like you said, the blink available. They popped up BKB too early on the Enigma. The Roche fight looks like it's going to go in OG's favor, but DC, they're decisive. They're like, guys, we have to go for this engagement. The timing was perfect. Bulba just blinks in. He's like, I have to go for this. Just check how low Roche is. Dubu gets that flame break off. Lifts them away from that Aegis. Abed still has it in his inventory. Open up the map now. They force buybacks. And this is definitively in DC's favor now. 13k gold lead at just 28 young minutes into this game. And Ana's, all of his item progression so far has just fallen off. He's still first in his team, but that's not saying much considering how farm this Lycan is.
Oh, and they can taste it right now. DC, I don't know if they spotted Ana moving over, but they do have a little bit of vision here. And with Farev moving in with the black hole, he blinked aggressively off to the side. They have it available, thinking about dropping it. And indeed they are. It doesn't quite connect on Ana. Farev, what have you done? And now they got the black hole. The Chronos Spirit on to 2. Are they actually going to be able to do this? The silence on to 3. The stun as well. DC, what have you done? Oh, no, 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 no. The Grave is there for No-Tail as well. He's going to be able to get the Eul Scepter lift up. I think he's still dead nonetheless. But that was not the play.
That was definitively not the play. S4 doesn't have that echo. He'd love to have it. Jerax even goes in. Tries to make something happen as Abed gonna blink forward. Graves gonna be cast onto Jerax, but saves him for the time being. Is there any sort of follow-up damage? There is. And now there's no Chrono. Maybe that was a crazy
next level debate.
10,000 level turnaround play that Farev did that made them use the Chrono, and he's just thinking like a billion seconds ahead of us, babe.
I know, we're not prepared. That's the real reason here. I mean, to be fair, again, like, you want to get that, like, ultimate range one, so that way Dazzle can't come in and, you know, Grave or whatever. It ends up working out. DC.
That worked out, like, way better than it should have. They MacGyvered the hell out of that fight. I thought it was going to be, I was like, that black hole just, that's a game-losing black hole, and somehow it turned out okay.
Yeah. They do realize now that there's a ward up on the high ground. Unfortunately, it was about to expire anyways, but still a nice little pickup there. And with the gem, maybe they can establish some form of map control here.
Yeah, this not losing the gem. They still have it in their possession. They were able to play hot potato with it. S4, he should be able to clear out some of the vision, which has been so key to DC being able to make these plays. But at the same time, like in terms of momentum, it's so firmly in DC's favor right now. Like we said, as long he didn't get it that time, but as long as you catch the void, there's nothing that can break your black hole.
That's true. Oh man.
I still hold by that point. That doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
Well, OG now, they're going to try and smoke up, see if they can make something happen. Chronosphere is there, as well as the Exorcism. This game has felt like it's sort of swinging wildly one way and then the other, but it's sort of been a steady decline into the favor of DC over this period of time. And they are going to be heading across. Looks like Abed is there to break the smoke, and all scouted out. He jumps away.
Oh, that's a big one too. They committed for this. They're even gonna grab him.
Echo Slam ends up being used, but they are gonna be able to break it up with the
Bulba 2 moments
on there as well. Can they turn back around? Bulba
they really want him dead.
Oh, and Lycan, he's gonna be controlled, but the black hole is down. Ana again able to dodge away from it, but No-Tail is not. He is going to be caught with the Grave, keeping him alive yet again. Farev in trouble.
Bulba
is gonna be dropped. Can they actually make this play happen though? The silence came out just in time. It ends up interrupting the Pro Strike that might have killed No-Tail. DC fallen by the wayside here as they are running into all kinds of issue. Abed?
Did you see what happened? Bulba, right before his channeling epicenter ends, he blinks in. It would have been enough to kill No-Tail after his Eul's ends. Oh, if he just channels that,
yeah,
that's potentially just the game right there.
I think he got silenced as he came down for the Burrow Strike as well. So like he went a little early and then also got silenced.
But if he does it,
yeah,
it shouldn't have mattered. Yeah, the damage would have been enough.
Well, these things happen, even to the best of players.
That's going to be, and it's these little mistakes that really make you question whether DC can wrap up this game, because OG, if we calm ourselves down, or at least myself, this is still firmly winnable game for them, because Chronosphere is such an amazing ability. I mean, the only reason I'm getting hyped is because I thought that DC was going to get...
It's a hype game, man.
They were going to get caterwalloped in this game. But it did not end up happening. Like, their DC is giving him a run for their money. They've got a 13k gold lead. They just got to do well to protect it. They're going to de-ward some up in this mid area, like you talked about with this gem. And DC, they still have Black Hole up in 50 seconds. We talked about how pivotal that ability was going to be for them. But they need to execute these abilities a little bit more cleanly. Like this Black Hole, this Epicenter, like these kinds of mistakes, DC, these are basic errors that they shouldn't be making. And that's why they're going to be kicking themselves. Because from a strategic point of view, they should be pretty satisfied with how they played this game. On the other side, OG, there have been some slip-ups, but the crazy thing is their lineup still allows for that wiggle room because they have so many great abilities, right? Yeah. You've got JerAx who's playing out of his mind. He soaked up, what, like 4 stuns by himself in that corner of the map. Normally that should be enough to be able to win you the fight. They've got Echo Slam. Anytime they get a big Echo off, that could turn the fight. Same with the Chronosphere. You're finally starting to get some farm on this Void. This Manta Diffusal build makes him incredibly strong in terms of just pure damage.
Yeah. Well, and it does really feel... It feels like they're sort of reeling from it a little bit. And,
yeah.
I guess next Roche is again going to be that thing that they wait for 30 seconds until it could potentially, well, it will respond. So that's going to be the next spot for the fight. As far as Vision is concerned, looks like Radiant a little bit ahead in that regard because of that gem. They have one ward down up on this high ground, scouting out Dubu. Could be a big pick-off, and they're going to try and find it. Stun down, Magnetize as well. They've caught him. Can he actually play his way out of there? JerAx still trying to chase. Mason shown up. Rian applying the Magnetize onto them.
This is their gem as well. They really don't want to lose this, or they're going to be playing from behind in the Vision game, which is really what enables you to get back if you're OG into this game. And Abed just going to base shift to the side as S4 guesses wrong. And now this is where OG should back out, because the Wolf is spawning them all the while. Forev should make the blink stun forward. He does.
Watching for it, trying to get it. They pull him back in. Haven't committed Black Hole. Forev back off cooldown in 2 seconds. They have a couple other here. If Forev want to go for it, there's definitely an opportunity. The Chrono's down, but they catch the Black Hole onto 2. Do they have the damage to follow it up? It looks like Puck not quite there as well. He was able to get the silence off from the DP, trying to burst him down now as well. There's not going to be a grave, but they do have the Euls. No Tail in some trouble. Can they actually run him down, or is the Exorcism going to tear him all to shreds? Turns around with the Spirit Siphon. No Tail is staying alive. He lands up in the biggest way possible, and now just trying to TP out, but Mason is down. 3 dead for DC. The path is clear for Roshan and maybe more.
And despite that Chronosphere not going their way, Echo Slam not even being expended, it's this Death Prophet. Her ability to just 1v4 that fight right there with Exorcism? Like, what other hero can do that? Oh, that's so brutal for DC. And I mean, OG, they played that fight so well. They just split the entire territory. They weren't able to focus this Death Prophet down. They didn't really have that much left in the gas tank. They used so much to try to kill Fly and Ana in the backline, and they weren't even able to do it. Like, this Void just does not die anymore. With the combination of the Linkage, they don't have enough crowd control. Even with him getting hold, where's the follow-up damage?
Right.
That Chronosphere, oddly, was some weird zoning one, because nobody else could get nobody could get through that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the Puck ended up getting silenced by the DP or what, but his orb passed right over the Black Hole. It felt like there was an opportunity there for him to jump on it, but it must have just been either silenced or something else interrupted his ability to jaunt to it. I guess the big question for me is, does Puck, when he gets that level 25 talent going for the GPM, I mean, is that like another sort of point where they're going to be incredibly powerful by virtue of like having Dagon level 5, and then you can actually maybe blow up one of those heroes in the space of a Chrono?
I don't think so. I don't know if that changes things nearly as much as like I would have believed, because you've got the 120 GPM talent on this Void, and right now Void's farm means so much more. Right? Like, that's what's going to be able to turn this game. And DC, I mean, they could have foreseeably had like a 20k gold lead. They're going to grip JerAx. They're not really fully committing to this. They're going to cast 2 stuns as the Chrono whiffs again.
Well, he caught the Sand King, but he's not doing any damage to follow it up, and now Forev drops down the Black Hole, and Mason is here as well. They need to focus this guy down, take down the Aegis. It's at least 1 gone. So DC back out, trading 2 for 1 there, 1 being the Aegis.
Yeah. And they still managed to kill the Batrider at the very least. Ana drops the gem. S4 has 1 by himself. It's not the best use of the black hole, but getting rid of the early Aegis and not allowing OG to create any sort of tempo off of it is going to be quite big. And now they know that black hole's down. They're going to start marching for this. And we talked about how hard it was for them to kill N0tail. Now he's got a cheese. He pops his ultimate. There's no black hole down.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And you know, you can split push all you want, but eventually you're going to have to deal these people up on top of your cliff. I thought I heard a cheese get used, but that must have been something else.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, it does not feel like, you know, the barracks being down really matters at all in this game anymore. It's just so easy to push out that wave.
No, not really, because you still have to take team fights to try to end the game.
Yeah.
Like, OG have plenty of ways to shove out the waves. They've got so much team fight that it doesn't even feel like they're that worried about anything, as they're going to rotate a lot of heroes down there. Bulba's going to be the one to start it.
Epicenter doesn't get canceled this time. He wants the kill, wants to take down that DP, and indeed, it's going to happen. Now the rest of OG have to back out, but a big pickup there. 75 seconds does have buyback.
Yeah. Imagine if he was able to get cheese off there. Then he just Spirit Siphons his way back. The rest of his team, maybe they make it as DC. Now they start their counter assaults. Death Prophet ult down, 40 seconds. He does have the buyback like you talked about, but Death Prophet without his ult is a lot less scary. As there's a Shadow Blade on Ana. He's waiting for the opportunity. They know they don't have the gem. This could be huge as Frev gets isolated out.
Cold, there it is. He's not going to be able to get it off this time around, and he is going to drop, and they've already committed forward with a couple other heroes. Bulba going to drop as well, most likely after this Eul's Scepter. Maybe he can play his way out, but with Ana on top of him, it's not going to happen. There was some split pushing going on at the same time, and now trying to catch out Mason. He's just going to BKB and TP back home. So team fight doesn't go the way they want. Surprise Shadow Blade catches him out.
And that's what I mean, that 120 GPM talent, once he picks it up, he starts getting a little bit more fat. That Shadow Blade pays for itself almost immediately as gems start to get a little bit more scarce. If you lose another one, I mean, how does the game go? Your supports just have to sacrifice slots to start carrying around set. It doesn't feel too good. As Dubu does have the gem.
And they also
just a little bit too far.
Do not have buyback on these heroes. Sand King and Enigma, no buyback, and they are moving down mid. They have Exorcism up and bots on N0tail if he wants to use it.
Yeah, and he's got an Arcane Rune.
Yeah. This is a little bit scary. I think this, I mean, is this going to be Elena Rax?
This very well potentially could be. They do have Black Hole though when he is up. And, Abed right now is trying to go for the split push. This is a DD puck. Hits the tower hard. They're going to pop the glyph. And now OG is going to be in a rough decision. Like, do you continue to go for it or do you start backing up as...
Ooh, gets caught out by the Euls. There's the black hole though. They've caught it. It's still going to be Exorcism going throughout this. Do they have the rest of the damage to burn it down? N0tail is there.
He's
going to be lifted up. They have to take him down. They are going to be able to.
Oh, he doesn't get his cheese off.
Mark, and now Fly also in trouble. He is going to be killed off. Ana also trying to run away. He does have that extended range on the time walk, which might be enough to keep him alive. Yeah, I don't think Mason can keep up with him here with ulti down.
He's easily going to make his way out.
But also bottom lane. Look at this. Already dealing damage to that Rex.
Ana is going to get out though. And I mean, tier 2 for, or tier 3 for tier 3. But at the same time, you lose the Death Prophet and the Dazzle. Not entirely worth it. Although this almost 20k gold lead that DC once had, which was incredibly comfortable, just completely slipped away from them.
And Will, now with 50 seconds left before DP, you know that Exorcism is down.
There's no buyback on him either.
Right.
This is your best opportunity to go for Mega Creeps, honestly. DC's gonna go for it here. They've gotta avoid getting chronoed. Like, they can't survive a multiple hero chrono. If there's a really good chrono, they kill like 2, you end the push, then that's really rough for DC. And then you're in the similar situation, right, where you're just marching up and down each other's base trying to force buybacks.
Right.
Alright, here we go. And it does have this.
S4 also has a Shadow Blade, so they have double Shadow Blade initiation. Need to step forward.
There is a gem though on this Mad Rider. He's looking for it. They're gonna spot S4 in that corner, and they're just gonna back out.
DP back up, and since it was Arcane Rune and Octarine Core, obviously, Exorcism is actually going to be online again now that he is respawned. Roshan, we are still looking like it could be 2 minutes and 27 seconds before he's even capable of respawning.
He really needs more HP though to be able to survive this so he can get that cheese off.
Yeah. Perfect item for that, pick up a heart.
Yeah. But you notice in both of these, like, he barely doesn't get that cheese off. If he does, the fight completely turn around. Because they have to blow so much just to kill him. Maybe after he dropped from the Eul Scepter? I'm not sure what the timing is on that. Because Abed just Dagon 5'd him.
Well, 42 minutes in, 26 to 33. It is all tier 3 towers down currently for OG. None of them still stand. Meanwhile, DC have lost one of their own, so we might see a concerted effort to take down these shrines and stop the ability of DC to fight around that Rosh area.
Yeah. And as it stands, DC, they're just resetting the map. They're pushing in all the waves. They're trying to regain themselves, their composure a little bit. Like, this game is still can go either way. I mean, we've been talking about DC a lot, but OG, they're doing a very good job playing aggressively. This Faceless Void Ana has especially stepped up his play. Like, despite some of these Chronos in the early game, like, he's still 12-2 and 11. He's still doing a very good job of keeping up in farm. Like, his item progression, I think, is very good. It's like, the Shadow Blade pickup immediately paid off.
Right.
But that bottom defense, like, if he doesn't have that there, maybe they just get killed, wiped, game ends.
Boba came out of his little hole at the wrong time, and now Burrow Strike trying to get away. Eul Scepter lift up on, pulls him down, and
it's a pick off. And you need kills like that to get back in. As this 10k gold lead, of course, inflated by the fact that Puck has this insane GPM talent. So it's going to make things a little bit more tricky than it seems. But this Void almost has a butterfly on top of everything he's already has. We talked about the difficulty in killing him. Doesn't get any easier.
Trying to look at this, they have a couple of different of these GPM talents. I feel like the 15% cooldown reduction is almost a GPM talent since Enigma had the Midas for so long. He actually looks like he sold it at some point as well.
Oh, mistakes.
Yeah.
You never want to sell that thing.
S4 walking up high ground. Dubu scouts him out with the gem, going to Firefly, jump away, and we'll see if his Blink Dagger gets canceled. He's dodging away from that. OG can't find an opening.
Yeah, that's a correct move. You don't overextend for just a Batrider anymore.
It feels like this game is just like handing just right on the edge of a knife, where granted it has been a pretty significant lead for DC for a long period of time, but OG are certainly in a great position to just like run down mid if they win a big team fight.
No, for sure. And that's what we talked about is, even when it was like 14k gold lead, it did feel like OG was starting to kind of make the moves necessary to come back into this game. Because DC has difficulty going high ground against a lot of these heroes. If you just go high ground without a care against an Earthshaker, you're going to get Echo Slammed, Chronoed, Death Prophet gets free reign, then the fight becomes really complicated. Because this Lycan isn't tanky enough, and you don't have save for him. If somebody gets Chronoed, they're Chronoed. You're just stuck watching from the outside in.
Yeah. Best thing you could do is like Flame Break to push back Void or something. And
yeah.
Just...
But if you look at OG's team, even if somebody gets Batrider Lasso, you've got Fly with the Grave. So it considerably changes the dynamic. Plus this Dazzle somehow has a Linken's.
Oh my goodness, what a guy.
I mean,
he's never had so much farm.
He had to have just been getting gold, but still, there's something weird about that.
Yeah, for sure.
It just looks odd.
Big play could have came there. It's DC sort of all grouped up together to make a move. The top, or bottom tier 2 rather, tower fell down in the meantime by virtue of the Ana illusions, but it looks like they're going to back out again. The other thing is AC done for the Lycan, so another way to help mitigate that damage coming in from a DP ulti.
Still, I don't... You get Chronoed, still die.
Well, the illusion certainly died.
Okay, so they're going to see that Chrono and think to themselves, like, guys, go for something.
They're going immediately. This is S4 in a hell of a lot of trouble. My God, the damage is real with that Dagon. And well, DC, go take Roshan. It's time to end the game, maybe.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to enable that.
Okay.
Maybe you can siege a little bit, because you know that Chrono's down, and you can at least force the S4 buyback. Probably the bigger thing is the Chrono down. They're going to read that situation and say, Chrono's down, let's go for something. Doesn't look like OG just want to give this up for free, though. No tail. Gonna just march right in.
Alright, Earthshaker buyback. There's the epicenter already at the start. It's down. Black Hole is there. There is a grave to try and keep him alive for the moment. The Eul Scepter able to lift him up to keep him alive. Now, in the meantime, off to the side, they already take down the Dazzle, able to roll away as Jerax, keeping himself alive. But another big Burrow Strike comes forward. But S4 with the Echo Slam turned it in a big old way. It takes down both the Lycan and the Batrider. If they can somehow manage to get out with the rest of these heroes, OG with a huge comeback, making these plays, and it might end up being more because there's no buyback on the Lycan or the Batrider. Oh my god, and the Eul Scepter lift up, Puck in trouble as well. Abed is going to fall most likely. They pull him down, they take him down. OG Dota.
Don't even need the Chronosphere. All it takes is for this Death Prophet. I think he popped the cheese. That's what it had to have been. He pops the cheese at the last second, immediately gets the full HP, and DC's like, oh. This isn't what we had planned.
Now Roshan for them as well. Huge moments.
Yeah, No-Tail's been such a beast for them in this game so far. He's got the plus 600 HP talent as well, that level 25, very fortuitous for him. And again, just gets graved during that black hole, uses himself. As soon as he drops down to the ground, immediately pops that cheese, turns that fight around for his team. I feel like they should all just be going down right now for this. And it goes back for that DD rune, but you've got a while before anybody's alive.
I mean, it was also S4 buying back, and he hit a pretty big Echo Slam there to all those stuff. But hitting the tower now, or barracks rather. Obviously, if you're DC, you don't want to buy back. Do you think you have to if you're Puck?
This probably isn't worth it, because you're not going to get Mega Creep no matter what. You're only going to get 2 sets of racks right here.
Jump forward, they pop the Linkens there onto Ana, pull him back in now. It's in trouble. Jerax gets the lift up. There's no going to be a black hole, at least for the moment, but they can come back in now. BKB is available. Not wanting to drop it yet. No-Tail's doing a ton of damage to Dubu, and Ana's just able to jump back out again. So they're going to lose Dubu. A Burrow Strike again through from... The black hole's down, but it doesn't catch No-Tail. They're going to be able to keep alive Ana. He time walks off a ton of the damage. DC crumbling at this late stage of the game. They buy back on the Batrider. They got to pull No-Tail back into the base, but everybody's buying back 4 from DC. Can they get anything from this? They have to take down No-Tail. It's too big of an expense not to find this kill, and the Spirits come back in. It doesn't look like it's going to matter. He is still eventually going to be dropped, most likely. Jerax there as well. Well, actually ends up craving and cheesing. He comes back to full HP again. The epicenter is there, but Jerax isn't going down either.
Nobody is dying in this fight. Jerax might finally go down. Fissure comes in a little bit too late as they don't even get fly here. He just TP's out. No-Tail casually just walked away. Doesn't have any care in the world.
What has happened?
They just can't kill this Death Prophet anymore. DC had such a considerable lead in this game. I mean, this graph looks insane.
20,000 net worth roughly exchanged over the past maybe couple of minutes. They're gonna again try and go into No-Tail. He is so tanky right now. They get the Hex on him. The chase, it's still coming. Spirit Siphon, a ridiculous amount of heal. In the meantime, Mason goes down by virtue of Ana. They managed to find the grave yet again. S4 there trying to turn it back around.
This time at least.
They don't have the black hole for another 18 seconds, but they will kill off No-Tail.
Jerax is going to buy back.
Ana now, look at him! Gets the BKB off, but to no avail. They're also going to run down the Sand King yet again. Saves one more rock, gets the stun, another one down, no buyback. Lycan or Sand King.
That might just be the game. I think OG is just going to march down for this. They don't really care about getting Mega Creeps and they can just end the game. They know that so many buybacks have been expended on the side of DC. This Batrider alone can't really do much. They're going to start marching down. I think Death Prophet, once they get closer to the base, just buys back 2, and they just go for the game.
Well, 38-38, but it's been a hell of a swing back into the favor of OG. 52 minutes in, and like you said, they just never had an answer. Well, they did at various points have answers for the DP, but not when it came down to the end of the game.
Yeah, Forev is going to buy back. Still 2 heroes without buyback. It looks like No-Tail doesn't, in fact, want to commit that buyback. Doesn't want to go for any sort of crazy throws. OG just making their way long ways around. Is Ana going to snipe off? Nope. Doesn't quite commit for that either.
I'll send an illusion in, I'm sure.
Yeah. Is there any hero with buyback on the side of DC anymore? That is...
No.
Dire's top shrine is under
So
attack.
any sort of lost fight, like any heroes lost at all, if OG have the numbers advantage, they just march down.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Well, if there was ever a time and a place for a big black hole, it's now for DC, or at least, you know, once everybody gets back up and online. It's certainly in the realm of possibility. But what are those steps that you need to take now for DC? Is it just only like hope for a big misplay? Do you even have to like give up mega creeps to make sure?
So the biggest thing is they are getting black holes off, but they just get graved.
Right.
Like this Faceless Void gets black holed and then he gets graved and then he just time walks to his full HP and so much for that black hole. Same with No Tail. Like, he just heals so much from this Octarine Core Spirit Siphon. But you've got to do something. Can't just give up mega creeps. DC, I'm not sure. They're gonna have to have a multiple man black hole. So far they've had like 3 max. Somehow Forev needs to get 4 and hope that Fly's not included in that.
Oh, Ana is just too big and Sand King's gonna get caught. They have the black hole into 2, keeping Bulbo alive at the moment. He is eventually going to be brought down.
The damage?
Nonetheless, No Tail taking a good bit of it, but the Eul Scepter is gonna lift it up and he is going to actually eventually fall. They kill off No Tail. Okay, 100 seconds with no Death Prophet. S4 now also gonna start to get ran down. Ana is trying to make his way out of there, but with the orb going forward, thought about chasing, but hold off for the moment, showing a little bit of patience.
Yeah. And they don't have this Enigma black hole for 76 seconds. There's no Lycan ultimate either, although that should be refreshing pretty soon. But JerAx is going to roll really aggressively forward, goes for the kick. Stone forms that Lycan out of his base.
Oh, Mason, nowhere left to go. He doesn't have BKB for another 8 seconds either, and unfortunately, Black Hole on cooldown. No way to save Mason. Echo Slam, turn around. S4 knows how to finish off these games, and GG is gonna get called as OG pull it back from the clutches of defeat and take down DC after being down almost 20,000. That was really 15,000.
OG is so resilient. That is absurd that they won this game. They are so resilient.